Okay, hey guys, here's an update on the revell Kawasaki ZX7RR. Pretty much everything in primer. The bulk of it over here I did a little while ago. That's all dry waiting top coat now. And some freshly primered stuff just over here, the rear swing arm and bits and pieces. Now, what I'm going to do next is go ahead and paint the bodywork, and of course it's a Kawasaki, and that being the case, what other colour can you paint a Kawasaki but Kawasaki green? Okay, so I'm just going to show you what the paint should look like when it's mixed up to the right kind of consistency, and then hopefully you get a little clip of me spraying. It's going to be kind of difficult because yet again I'm stuck without my main camcorder because it's gone back for a third time for repair due to a lens or CCD fault. So I'm filming this on the phone, but hopefully I'll be able to show you a bit of the spraying. Right, I'm just going to show you a little bit of mixing. What I use here are little plastic pots, the kind of things you get with sort of night nurse and that kind of thing. Little plastic medicine pots, any little plastic container will do the job nicely. This is Humbrol enamel paint, and it's thinned with Humbrol enamel thinners. I strongly recommend that you always use a proprietary thinner for the simple reason it avoids any hassle. You can thin acrylic paint, Tamiya acrylic paint, with isopropyl alcohol, for example, which works quite well, but if there are inconsistencies with the IPA that you buy, then you may get varying results. If you thin it with Tamiya thinners, the results will be consistent all of the time. So if your finish is important to you, stick with the proprietary thinners. Use IPA and terps and that kind of thing for cleaning out your brush afterwards, but use the thinners for the paint. Now, what I've done here is I've mixed the paint and I've mixed the thinners in there to a milk-like consistency. Now this is always a tricky one. There's no exact science, there's no exact percentage of one to the other, and anyone who's used Humbrol paints will know you sometimes open a tin and one tin's really thick and one tin's considerably thinner. So it's just a case of dropping in the thinners with a pipette, an eyedropper that I use, and giving it a good stir with your brush. If you decant the paint with a brush, by the way, that makes life easy because the tins don't pour well. Dip in your brush up to the hilt, load it with paint, put it into your pot and decant like that. And you can use, I have a bigger brush than this for decanting paint also, which is great if you're wanting to do large quantities. Much cleaner, you don't get dribbles all down the side of your tin and that kind of thing, and lids that don't seal properly in paint drying. So I've given the sides of the pot a little wipe, and hopefully I'm going to be able to try and show you what I mean by milk-like consistency. If I can dip this in here and brush this up the side. This is a little bit tricky because I'm trying to sort of view this through the camera as I do it. There you go. Now you see that will run away but leave a thin coating which gradually becomes translucent. So it's really quite watery but not so watery that the whole thing runs away. But you see how that leaves a coating but becomes translucent. That's what's meant by the consistency of milk when you mix your paint. So I'm going to go ahead and decant that into my airbrush and give that a test spray on a piece of card. I always keep a piece of card handy just to do a quick test spray and make sure that it's flowing properly, and then I'm going to go ahead and start painting my panel. Well, unfortunately I wasn't able to actually film any of the spraying because frankly it was just impossible to try and spray with one hand and hold the camera with the other one. As I say, I'm using the phone camera, so I'm not able to mount that on a tripod or anything. Hopefully I'll get my other camera back soon and hopefully it will be fixed and I will be able to do some videos of the spraying. But in the meantime, here are some shots of the sprayed bodywork pieces. The front mudguard, the rear seat unit, the top cowl, the fairing sides, the wheels and the tank. I think they're all the green bits at the moment. Nice shiny finish. It's one thing I like about the Humbrol enamels. The gloss enamels give a great gloss finish, although the drying time is quite long compared to acrylics. But I'm quite pleased with that.